welcome to another day of the 30-day challenge. Today's focus is going to be stretching our splits. We're going to do this on our back so we don't have to apply any pressure to our broken toe or foot. You might want to get either a yoga strap or even a towel or a robe. Or the strap from your robe. So let's go ahead and lie back. We're just gonna take our hands, fingers facing our toes, right on top of our knees, and just kind of massage out the hips, rolling the knees together, forward, and then out. We wanna warm up the hips here, kind of get them lubricated, so it's easier to stretch and get a little bit deeper. And then we'll go the other direction. One more. Perfect. So now go ahead and just set one foot down. Bring the other leg to 90 degrees so that the calf is parallel to the ground. Again, we want to warm up the joints so that it's easier to stretch into our muscles. So I'm going to start by pointing and flexing this foot here. Really try to use your whole foot as you point and flex back. Getting the toes into this. Let's do a couple more. And really feel this in the calf. And then we'll do some circles. One direction. We're going to do this for about 20 to 30 seconds, one direction. So you might start to feel it burn a bit, but just see if you can just breathe into it and work through that. If your leg starts to get tired, you can always support it by clasping your hands behind the thigh. Keep going, even if you start to feel that burn. Do a couple more rounds, keep breathing. Beautiful, go ahead and shake it out. Woo. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go do that same thing the other direction. Oh my goodness, it's already burning and tired. But I can feel it all the way down my calf and the front of my shin, even into the IT band on the side of my leg. Notice where you can feel the action happening to make your ankle rotate. Keep going, keep breathing, deep breath into the ankle, out through the toes. Couple more rounds, keep going. And breathe. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Woo. Let's go ahead and take our legs straight out in front of us and just feel into our legs. Notice the right versus the left. Does the energy feel different? Does one feel more open than the other? What about temperature? Awesome. We'll go ahead and rebend the legs and then now lifting the other leg. So if your foot is in a boot, this might be hard to do the pointing and flexing, or if you have a broken foot, you can totally skip this. It's just my pinky toe, so I'm not going to fully extend, but I will flex back. So I'm just gently pushing through the top of the foot and then pulling back. And then this, if it is just a toe and not your whole foot, this will help to kind of open the muscles that are surrounding that toe, so you can get the oxygen flowing better, get some chi moving through there, and help the healing. But if this hurts or anything like that, just skip it, move on to the ankle rotations, or take this moment to even kind of massage your ankle with your hands. All right, and then now we're going to do some easy rotations on that broken foot here. Nothing wild. I'm just really trying to keep this action in my ankle, not really using my toes on this side. Keep going. Again, you can always support that leg if you need to. More so using the ankle and the heel to move this leg around, especially since it's been in the cast for the most part, or elevated with the heating and icing. It really needs to be opened up. And then other direction. Nice and easy. Don't do it if it hurts. I'm not a doctor. This is not a prescription. You have to live in your body, so listen to it. Keep going, couple more breaths. I'm already burning up the shin here. And release. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and take our legs all the way straight, and then just notice one side versus the other. The energy direction, the temperature. I already feel some chi kind of moving through the top of my foot from the broken toe all the way up my shin. And it doesn't hurt, it just feels kind of more fluid. Okay, so now we're going to take either that strap, towel, or rope, tie, and then wrap it around the ball of one of your feet, and then let your elbows drop at your side. So we're going to really open up the hamstrings here. So I'm going to inhale, exhale, bend the knee into that shoulder, and then inhale to extend through the heel, giving resistance through that strap. Exhale, bringing the knee to shoulder. Inhale, extend. So I don't want to hyperextend my knee and lock out that joint. I'm keeping it slightly bent so I can really pull from my hip and extend through the heel. And that will really stretch the muscle. Whew. This leg is extra tight from having to take all the work of supporting my body when I walk. Exhaling to bend that knee, and then inhale up. Beautiful. Now we're just going to hold it here, and then every time we inhale, gently guide your shin a little bit closer towards your face, and then exhale to release. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Keep moving with your breath, really extending through the heel on your inhales, exhaling to soften. Do 2 more times. One more. Nice. Now we're going to take that opposite leg all the way straight, and then gently bring this leg as close to your face as you comfortably can, not straining, just feeling a stretch. Breathe into your leg. Really try to keep those hips square so I'm rolling the thighs together even though my legs are stretching apart. Beautiful. So now I'm going to take both straps into my right hand and lift my left arm overhead. I'm going to roll onto the left side of my body and support my head on my hand. And then I'm going to take this leg, reach my hand up closer to the strap, and then gently pull that leg in towards me. I'm going to scoot my bottom leg out a little bit to make that slight V shape to give me some more balance. If you can reach your foot, go ahead and do so. Breathing. If you have the space, you can grab it with your opposite hand. Try to bring your top arm through your leg. Really extend, and still working the thighs though. I'm not just trying to pull my leg apart. I'm trying to engage while I stretch it. One more deep inhale. Exhale to come to your back. And then gently reach your chest up towards your shin as you reach your shin towards your chin. Breathe. And then exhale, lower all the way down. And then again, just notice both sides of your legs here. Does one side feel different? If you had to draw the energy of that one leg you just stretched, what would it look like? What direction would it be moving in? Awesome. So now we're going to bend that knee, planting our foot, and then take the strap around the other foot. So if you're in your boot, you're nice and protected. This time, since it's my toe that's broken, I'm going to go more along the arch and heel of the foot. So that way I'm not putting any pressure on the broken toe or the jammed joint that I have as well. So I'm going to inhale, extend through the heel. Exhale, bring that knee into my shoulder. Inhale, exhale. So again, if you have a broken foot on your opposite leg than me, then just switch legs the whole time we're working. So make sure you're working on the broken side now. Exhaling to bring that knee over to our shoulder. Inhaling to lengthen through. And if at any point you start to feel discomfort or pain, just stop. Being mindful to not lock out your joint when you extend your leg, because you really want to lengthen by pulling the hip down and reaching through that heel. That will really stretch the hamstring muscle. And then last time, inhale up and hold here. And then exhale, soften. Inhale to extend and bring this a little bit closer. Exhale to soften. If your leg is shaking, that's good. That means information is moving down the leg. That's your nervous system communicating with itself. Try to breathe into it. Couple more times here. One more. Beautiful. So then now we're going to roll onto our right side, or the opposite side of our leg that we're stretching, coming into that slight V shape with our body, making sure that the knee is turned out towards your shoulder and gently pull it in towards that shoulder. Again, if you can reach, if your boot is supporting it, or if you only are working with a broken toe and not with a broken foot, you can go ahead and grab that foot or ankle, or keep holding on to your strap. I'm a little less open on this side, so I can't really reach through like I did on my other leg. So I'm just gonna hang out here, maybe a couple breaths longer, so that way it has extra time to stretch. This leg is really shaking and my other leg wasn't in this pose. So just hold and breathe. It was injured, so I'm sure it has some information that it wants to send to my nervous system to get to my brain. So I'm gonna let it shake. It's not hurting. Keep the shoulders down the back, neck long. Ooh, it's really going now. I've got something pent up here that is really trying to break free. Again, I'm just going to hold this for a little bit longer. If you're able to grab with your opposite hand and reach that top arm through, then go for it. If you can get a little bit deeper now that you've been breathing into this stretch, feel free. I'm going to try and soften. Woo, it's bouncing. I'm going to hold for a couple more breaths. I feel it kind of traveling. It was more so here now, and now it's kind of coming to the outside of my thigh. Whew. It's kind of making me feel dizzy, but that's just the chi. That's the energy moving through my body that was blocked before. One more inhale. Wow. Now my leg just totally relaxed. Beautiful. So now I'm going to roll onto my back and gently stretch my shin forward as I reach my chin up. Still extending as much as I can comfortably, keeping that knee slightly bent. Wow, my leg is like totally let go now. And then we'll go ahead and lay it all the way down, coming to relax on our back. So you really witnessed an energetic release just happen. I had a lot of these sort of energetic releases when I was in my teacher training, because it was all about releasing trauma and trauma awareness. So that was totally my nervous system, just allowing something to come through that was blocked somewhere in that leg, and it feels really good. Like I said, it can make you a little bit dizzy or lightheaded feeling. It's just because it's so much energy all of a sudden is able to move through your body. It's really cool. Have you ever experienced an energetic release like that, or did you not know what it was until you just heard it? Awesome. So now we're going to take one leg up into our strap again. If it's your good foot, go ahead and wrap around the ball of the feet. And then we're going to take both straps into our right hand and then letting the elbow drop to the mat. Again, I always want to keep my shoulders soft, neck soft. I'm going to take a deep inhale here. Exhale, start to let my leg float over to the right, but I don't want to just drop. So if all of a sudden you just dropped your leg, bring it back. Really mindfully, as you're extending out through the heel, keeping that micro bend in your knee, move the leg out intentionally. And I'm working to keep the opposite hip planted on my mat. The second that hip lifts, I'm going to back off just a little bit so it can stay grounded. Breathe nice and slow. Maybe take 3 full rounds of breath or 5 full rounds of breath to really open that leg out to the side. And then now that hip started to lift, so I'm going to back off just a little bit and adjust my hand down the strap so I can support my leg. Micro bend in that knee and extend out through the heel. Soft shoulders and breathe. The more you open, the more you can start to lower it down. If you have some blocks, you can even support that leg on your block and just allow the fascia and the muscles to really open and soften up. Deep breath. Have you ever come out of a hip stretching pose like wanting to cry, or did you cry, or maybe feeling angry or some sort of other emotion that you don't typically feel? They say that our hips tend to be kind of the junk drawer, the emotional junk drawer of our body. Although our emotions can be stored anywhere in our body, we really tend to bury the things that we don't want to confront or face or deal with. So they tend to get pushed down into our hips. So if that's ever happened to you, you're not alone. I've totally cried coming out pigeon before, like just like landed in Savasana with like tears pouring down my face in a class with people around me. So it happens. One more deep breath. And then now I'm gonna roll my left hip in towards my right and then use the strength of my thighs pulling in towards one another to come back to center. We don't wanna just rip our foot up towards the ceiling because you risk injuring the ligaments in this hip joint here. So now I'm gonna inhale here, lengthening through the back of the leg, and then exhale as slow as you can go, extending through the heel over to the opposite side. So now I'm going to switch my grip and my straps too, and then again, only go as far as you can without lifting that hip off the ground. Take a few deep breaths here, allowing that right hip to re-plug into the earth. You can always extend the right arm out for a little balance too. One more deep breath. And then exhale, let it come all the way over. Again, still micro bend in that knee, and my leg is active. I'm not just letting go here. I'm really extending out through that heel as I pull back on my hip. Deep breath down the outer side of that right hip, all the way down the outside of that leg, or if you're working opposite than I am, just breathe all the way out through the toes. One more deep inhale. Exhale, roll the whole body together towards that same side, and then use the whole body to roll to center. And then go ahead and unloop that foot, taking it down by your other leg. Woo! Do you notice a difference? It's always good to come out of the attic of our homes and drop into the rest of our body, the living room, the basement, and check in with what's going on. Beautiful. So now we're going to do this on the other side again. Being super mindful of where you're injured. If you're in a boot, you should be pretty protected, but only doing what feels good for you here. I'm going to skip the balls of my feet this time and go right for the heel, or just under the heel, more towards the arch of my foot. And deep breath in. Nice extension through that heel, micro bend in your knee. With the strap in one hand, I'm going to take it out to that same side. Again, nice and slow, maybe 3 rounds of breath to carry it over. Feels so much more open after all that shaking has happened. Stay engaged with your muscles. Don't just have a floppy leg here, and only go as far as you can without that opposite hip lifting. I'm good right here, so I'm going to let it hover. Rooting the right hip, extending through the left heel. And breathe. I'm not just going dead in that leg, I'm staying really active, really energetic. Keep breathing. Notice if this side's more open than your other side. Always do your tighter side longer and deeper to bring the body into balance. Let's do 2 more rounds of breath here. Breathing into the groin all the way to the heel, exhaling out through the toes. then again, I'm going to close my opposite hip in towards the one that's stretching open. And then the whole body, thighs squeezing together, come toward the middle. I really want to protect my soft tissue joints here. Inhale to extend. Switch your straps. Exhale over to the other side. Nice and slow. Only going as far as you can without that hip coming up first. We're going to breathe. You might really feel it on the outer side and maybe along the IT band. Allow this to open here. I'm going to set up my blocks so that way it can catch my foot once I decide to carry it all the way over. So my opposite arm, or that same arm, extends out to the side. Take a nice inhale, really lengthening, and then exhale real slow all the way over. As far as you comfortably can, and then still pulling back on that same hip. Nice, this is about as far as I can go. My blocks can't even reach it. Maybe if I double stack, there we go. So again, keep that energetic push and pull happening to stretch the IT, stretch the hamstring. Since this side's a little bit tighter, I'm going to hang out longer. Always breathing. I breathe into the areas where I feel the tension expanding with oxygen. And then exhale to carry it out. Keep breathing. If your mind ever gets distracted, just come back to your breath, come back to your body. Maybe offer your mind a little treat. Be grateful and happy that you caught the distraction and that you were able to come back to focus versus getting frustrated with yourself. Discover where you can still afford to soften and let go using your breath. Re-engage those leg muscles if you tend to let them go. Okay. Let's see if I can drop just a tiny bit deeper. Woo! Just a little bit. I don't want to injure myself. One more inhale. Exhale to roll the whole body to the side, and then everything comes together up. Ooh, I feel a lot of tingling moving down the side leg. This will have a lot of tension here, some blockages happening. So I'm going to release that leg down, and then compare and notice. No judgments. Just noticing. Awesome. So now I'm going to take my strap one more time. And then this time I'm going to wrap it around both feet. So avoiding the toe area, I'm just going to come into the heels. And then tuck those shoulders underneath the spine. Let the elbows drop to the ground. Shoulders soft, neck soft. Just help to kind of guide my feet a little bit closer towards the ground. Keeping my back flat. So the second you round, go ahead and stop, and then think about really extending from tailbone to scalp, hinging at your hips. Exhaling to get closer, inhaling to lengthen a little bit. So notice how my tailbone tailbone isn't leaving my mat. And let's do 2 more times. And then up, and then go ahead and release the strap. And this time I'm going to hover one leg as I kind of round in my spine, bringing the shin towards my face, and then switch, giving a little tug, switch. It's a little bit of a core workout, so you can always lay back. This leg keeps shaking, it's got something going on there. Let's do 2 more times for rounds. Nice. And then we'll go ahead and hug the knees into the chest, maybe rocking side to side. Then we'll go ahead and bend the knees, making a nice 90-degree angle, and then allow the knees to fall out to the side. So I'm keeping my heels in line with my knees here. And then you can always support or apply a little bit of pressure. So this is like frog pose, but on our back. Breathing into the groins. This is going to help with our middle split once we can get back on our feet, you know. And then from here, I like to slowly extend the heels out. So I'm still kind of giving my legs some support. I'm kind of pulling my thighs up towards my shoulders and extending out through the heels. And then slight arch in your low back as you bring your toes up towards your shoulders. Lifting that tailbone. Breathe. Breathe into those hips and the groin. One more deep inhale. Exhale, slowly bend your knees and then help bring your knees together. So again, you're not just ripping your knees towards one another and then injuring that soft tissue joint. And then we can take the fingers facing towards the toes and gently press your knees into your fingers. That'll kind of stretch your shoulders a little bit, but it will engage the muscles, so then we're kind of reaffirming the alignment of our hips here, stabilizing our hips. You can exhale to press out, inhale to bring them in. Awesome. So then we'll go ahead and grab the backs of the legs and gently rock, or you can roll to the side to sit up. Woohoo! All right, so if you're a dancer or a gymnast, or you just have been working on your splits and then got injured all of a sudden, this is a great thing you can practice every day to keep working on your splits. I stopped stretching for like 2 weeks, and then I went to do the splits the other day, and I was like an extra foot off the ground. I was like, oh no. It just proves like if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So feel free to leave me any comments or questions. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell for the rest of the videos. I will see you tomorrow. Get well. Namaste.